forecast said 20 to 30% chance of rain. Yeah, the odds never quite seem to be in my favor. Okay, let's see what we got here. Lots of puddles. Where are we? Just came, all right, so we just did 4.4 miles. I came that way, not going that way. Looks like, oh, gotta go that way. All right. But I am Moosalok Summit, Carriage Road, Moosalok Summit. All right, I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I think this is, oh, what is the bridge closure alert? Oh, shoot. All right, I should probably get a picture of that, but there, this is telling me Carriage Road, Moosalok Summit, elevation 4802. Moosalok Summit, 0.9, I got a mile. And there is a bridge closure. I will get a picture of that so I can read it. But we must move on. Alrighty then. So the rain finally stopped, and I get to listen to this the whole way descending the mountain. And the rain came in fast and furious. 30% chance. Go figure. Anyway, fast and furious. I am soaked through. The trails were flooded past the width of the trail, so there was no getting around. There were not enough rocks to hop. And now I have been going down for the last, I don't even know how long, a long time. I've been going down rocks like this. And the thing is, they're just slippery. So it is wicked slow going. I mean, I am probably just less than a mile from where I want to land. But I am not expecting to get there anytime soon. Not in my normal, what does 1 hour take me on the trail? This is slippery and, you know, gotta watch your footing. I'm soaked through. But I am excited to pitch my tent, swap out my wet clothes for my warm jammies. And tomorrow, it's supposed to be nice. So, hoping my clothes will dry. I do not expect they will dry tonight. It is far too humid. I am not going to attempt to tape while I go down this descent because it is way too slippery. I will break my phone. So, that is it for now. Until something more exciting happens. Oh, and the summit. You thought I was done. And the summit. Pouring. Absolute pouring. So all I managed to get was a picture of the sign. Turns out South Moosalok was on a spur trail, so I didn't take it. I went by the spur. And then I got to the summit at the same time these 4 guys got to the summit by a different route. And they were, hey, could you take our picture? I'm like, really quick, I'm trying to get out of this mess. Anyway, I was probably a little curt, but I took a bunch of pictures for them. Now they have it. All right, now I'm going. Bye. further down I climb, the more I get to see of the waterfalls. I keep wondering if at some point I'm going to cross this. All right, where are you? There you are. This is Beaver Falls, which I want to land at Beaver Brook. So it makes me think, somewhere down there. I'm like 0.6 away. I just gotta get there. It is so slow going. Like I'm at this, right? And I'm like, oh, how far have I gone? I've gone 0.2. Like that's how slow. It's just so slick. You have to be so careful. Anyway, I can still see that. It's hard for you to see with the distance, I don't know, but I can still see the waterfall going down, 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 down. And that's how I'm going. Slowly. All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there. Slow and steady. We'll get there. More waterfall. It's like all I've got to film right now. I'm sure it's raging even more. I should not raging, but gushing. It's gushing more because of our rain. Good evening. It is day 118 on the Appalachian Trail. Oh, shoot. Some hikers going by. I'm in a stealth site that's not very stealth. And there's actually a little thing that I think says no camping, but it says a tent and no fires. So I'm pretending that I think it says no campfires. How pathetic, right? No, you can tell people camp here. I just hope they don't rap on my door at like 2 a.m. to make an example of me. This is the last thing I need today. It's been a day. So yesterday, so great, right? My granddaughter, oh my gosh, it was so great. This was her first time at Storyland. I think it was her first time at any kind of park like this. And so she goes on this roller coaster, and I'm sitting next to her. And the whole time, she has this ear-to-ear, wide open smile, belly laughing. I mean, she's loving it, right? I love roller coasters. It's right after my own heart, right? So I am just loving every second of this. She loved every second of it. They had these like little houses that you could go visit. She thought that was the greatest thing and she never wanted to leave. I said, oh no, there's so much more to see, honey. So anyway, she had a snow cone. She had ice cream. I had some old-fashioned lemonade, and so she shared that half with me. Anyway, it was the greatest day. But then today, I had to go back on trail, right? And I left late because I wanted to say goodbye to my family. And I left my granddaughter sobbing. Yeah. Sobbing because Mana was going back out on her journey. My daughter-in-law told me yesterday that she overheard Naomi saying to my husband, is Mana going back on her journey, or is she going to stay with us now? Rip my heart right out of my chest, okay? And then this morning, I'm telling you, this little girl, she's brilliant, okay? I think she said, so I said to her, hey, baby, we gotta say goodbye. Mana's got to go back out on her journey. And she started getting fresh, right? She would run away from me. She wouldn't, when I tried to go over to her, she wouldn't let me hug her. And then I think her parents thought that she was misbehaving, right? And then she says, I'm going back to bed. This is this morning, right? It's like 7:15 this morning. I'm going back to bed, she says. I'm tired. It's still nap time. I think she meant bedtime, but. And I said, I don't think she's being fresh. I think she thinks if she doesn't say goodbye to me, then I can't leave. That's her little genius brain came up with that, right? But then her parents told her, you have to come say goodbye to Mana. And after we hugged real tight for a long time, she was just sobbing. So she had also asked if she could come on my journey with me. And her dad told her no. And so I don't know if she was crying because she couldn't come on the journey or because I was leaving. It's irrelevant. It was hard. It was very, very hard this morning. So I told her, I said, why don't you make a calendar and you can check off the days until Mana gets back. And I had already calculated very conservatively that if I use 12 miles as an average per day, I can be home in 33 days. But there'll be days that I do more, but there also could be days that I do less if I do Neros, going into hostels, because there's still going to be a few hostel stays. I mean, if we're talking at, like 33 to 40 days left, right? But that's it, 33 to 40. Can you believe this? 33 to 40 days left. Oh my gosh. Anyway, back to my granddaughter. So I said, why don't you make a calendar? And I told my daughter-in-law, put an extra week on that just in case, so I don't let the girl down. But I got to get off this trail. I got to hunker down. No more. I'm not doing no 23.7, 6,400 feet of gains. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I got to hunker down, and I got to get this sucker done. Yeah. And I did tell her that I would take her on a special journey. I had already bought her a backpack, and I let her play with an old tent of mine. So, yeah, I told her we'd go on our own journey, and that seemed to make her happy. But anyway, yeah, so the morning was hard. But I get here, Neil drove me, I had to say bye to him now, and the day started out okay. I was really kind of looking forward to it because it was about 9.5 miles. It was 2 peaks. It was Moosilauke and South Moosilauke. It turns out I didn't even go up South Moosilauke. I thought I was, but I just went by the spur. I mean, I climbed it for the most part. The spur was probably just 0.15. But the day started out great. It was cool. And then it got drizzly. But then around that time that it was getting drizzly, because I don't even know, I know how far I was in. I was 3 miles in because I bumped into Frito first, then Rebel J and Princess Slacker. And one of them said, we have 3 miles left, which means I had done 3 miles because it turns out they were doing the exact route I was doing, only southbound as slacking. So saw them. That was really nice. They knew that I was spending time with my granddaughter. I had texted with Rebel J yesterday. So I knew they'd be slacking. They thought they were going to miss me. And they may have if I hadn't finally gotten on trail because I stayed at the condo for a while. I think we left at 7:30. We did. We left at 7:30. It's an 1.5-hour drive. So by the time I think I was on trail officially by 9:10. So they were doing the same route, and if it's only 9.5 miles, they were just about done with their day. So they said, we didn't know if we were going to see you. I said, I know, got a late start, but it was really good to see them. And I hadn't seen Frito in ages, so it was really good to see him. So I said goodbye to them, probably see them again tomorrow. And by the way, they're staying at Hiker's Welcome Hostel. They had only good things to say, and so did Rorschach. He texted me checking in, and he had stayed there with 80s Night, and they had only good things to say. So there's a tip. It's a good place to stay. So my hostel was way better. So then I get going, and it was almost like the rain couldn't decide what it wanted to do. It would drizzle, then it would not. Then it would drizzle, and then I don't know where. It was like maybe 75% of the way up the mountain, and it just started pouring. And it just started pouring. And it just never stopped pouring. and it never stopped pouring. And even with my umbrella, because the trail was so narrow, and most of it was so narrow that like the evergreens and the bushes and everything just brushed up against me. So even if the umbrella was keeping me dry, all the wet was just brushing up. I was soaked. The only thing that wasn't soaked, because I used the umbrella the entire time, was my head and my trunk. My arms were soaked, my shorts were soaked, my shoes and socks were soaked. I mean, soaked. I was freezing. I kept thinking I should take off the wet clothes and put on my rain gear, because if I put my rain gear over the wet clothes, I would have just gotten the rain gear wet. It would have accomplished nothing. The rain had to stop, right? And at 2 o'clock, it really did. But then the wet from the leaves kept falling down. I kept that umbrella up the entire time. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling on way too much about that. But the whole point was, it was a very wet, cold day. And I kept thinking, I was going to stop at a shelter after the rain had stopped. But I'm like, I don't even want to do that. I was going to stop at the shelter to switch my clothes. Like, I don't even want to do that. I just want to get to where I want to land, get my tent pitched, get my pajamas on, and then I'll worry about being warm. Okay. So that's why I went into all that. Okay. It seemed like, so I had planned extra time to climb Moosilauke and South Moosilauke. Coming down was, I think, slower, even slower. I did 9.5 miles, 4,000 feet of gain, and it took way too long. 9:10 to 4. I'm not kidding. Way too long to make that happen. It was awful, and I did not stop. I stopped to take a few pictures. That's it. I did not stop and talk to people. I did take some pictures of some guys at the top of Moosilauke. I think I mentioned that. I don't know when I would have I probably mentioned that in the waterfall video. There's a lot of waterfall videos. That was all there was worth taking pictures of, because I wasn't pulling the camera out while it was pouring. It was pouring on the summit of Moosilauke, and you can't see it in the pictures. I did not take a selfie. I did not take a video. I just took a picture and moved on after taking pictures for these 4 guys. And then because it had, and the descent from Moosilauke is, I don't know, precarious. It's a lot of rocks, a lot of roots. You have to, and very, very steep. Nothing like I can't handle, but made so much worse because everything is wet now, just sopping wet. And the rain kept going for a long time, and then it finally stopped, and blah, 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 blah. And the trails were just flooded. I mean, we're talking flooded side to side, beyond nowhere you could stop, ankle deep or deeper, mud everywhere. Yeah, so from 9 to 4, what is that? 7 hours to go 9.5 miles? Are you kidding me? It was awful. Way too long. But is that right? 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. Way too long. But it is what it is. But I am very glad that I had only planned that short day. Because then when I got here, I was able to just take my time. I've got my clothes hanging up. I've got, oh my God, they're not going to be dry. I'm going to be putting on wet clothes tomorrow. I just pray it's not really cold in the morning. It's very cold now. I don't know if it's very cold. It's just the air is damp and I'm cold from being wet all day. So I got my puffy on. I've never been so happy to have my winter gear. I got my winter jammies, my winter jammy pants, socks on. I'm very, very happy. So as I say, if there's them hikers again. They did not go very far. Wonder what they were doing. I'm like, does the Forest Service send out scouts to see if anybody's stealth camping where they're not supposed to? Anyway, I shouldn't be here, right? Well, if I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be here. There was a couple of sites back, maybe 2 tents, and I don't know why. They were fine. I should have just stopped. And then I wouldn't be so paranoid, but whatever. Yeah. So that's what I say. If they come rapping at my door to make an example of me, I will just be like, please no. Please, I'll cry. Anyway. What else? Oh, yes. We crossed 1,800, but you know that I have a video. Yeah. Did I do a video? Or just pictures? I don't know. It was a miserable day. I don't even know. But yes, so now less than 400. I don't even know. I only did 9.5, so I don't even know what I have, but it's just shy of 400 now. Yeah. I think that's it. I feel like there's more. There's always more, right? But tomorrow, my friend Sherry is meeting me 1 or 2 tenths away. I can hear the road. There's a road crossing. See, that's why I'm not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be within a 1/4 mile of a parking lot. I didn't know that until like a couple hours ago. If I had never read that sign, I'd be sitting here pitched not thinking a thing about it. But I read the stupid sign, so now I know it. Anyway, I have stayed at more sites like this throughout this experience. I never knew I wasn't supposed to. Anyway, now I do. Okay, so Sherry's meeting me tomorrow. I pray it's not miserable out for her. She doesn't deserve this. Anyway, all right, so that's that. We'll fill you in more on that, but I'm excited that she's going to join me because it'll be nice to have company. And she's a hardcore hiker, so she'll, if anybody's worried about being able to keep up, she'll be able to keep up. So it's all good. It's all good. All right. I guess that's it. I'll take a picture of my little stealth site for you. Yeah, but meanwhile, I'm just going to get some rest and start my new day tomorrow, and hopefully the sun will be shining. I've been spoiled. It has not rained a lot during the day while I've been hiking. So I kept saying, we need the water for the water sources. We need the water for the water sources. I just hate being wet and cold. Anyway,